In today's video, we're going to be discussing the large number of issues with Hypixel Skyblock. Now, as an avid Skyblock player myself, I've had to deal with a majority of these issues whilst playing the game, primarily around mid-game. However, Skyblock has a variety of problems which present themselves in many different ways. For starters, and this is an issue that everyone has dealt with at some point or another, lag. While lag is a normal part of any game, the extent at which it is happening in Skyblock is unprecedented, even for Hypixel. While players may experience lag in just about any island in the game, the most prominent of these islands is the Crimson Isles. While this may seem insignificant, it's in fact quite the opposite, as the Crimson Isles is one of 3 islands in the game, which hold a ping-based minigame, with the other 2 being in the Park and the Rift. This minigame, the Dojo, holds a significant amount of Skyblock XP hostage, as a large population of the players are never able to fully complete it due to the excessive amounts of lag spikes in the Crimson Isles. However, this issue could easily be addressed by reducing the maximum capacity of players allowed in a Crimson Isles lobby at any given time. The current max number of players in the Crimson Isles is 25, which was lowered from the original 35. However, this is clearly far too much, likely as a result of lava fishing being so prominent. Now, if you don't know what lava fishing is, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. However, the reason this method of fishing causes so much lag is because it's common for lava fishers to leave their sea creatures alive for up to 5 minutes, then proceed to kill them all at the same time. While this may not seem like a big deal, it can quickly become one, as lobbies often have multiple lava fishers, resulting in an excessive amount of sea creatures being alive at any given time. This is the root cause of the lag in the Crimson Isles. While it would be a bad idea to nerf lava fishing in any form, a simple fix for this would be, as previously stated, to reduce the maximum player capacity for the Crimson Isles to something more reasonable, like 18 or 20 players max. Now, lag issues aside, Skyblock also has some serious progression issues, the main one of these being severe jumps in difficulty at certain parts of the game. The greatest example of this is the jump in difficulty from Void Gloom Tier 1 to Tier 2. While I understand that Enderman Slayers are meant to be difficult to an extent, this jump in difficulty is unwarranted and frankly stupid. Aside from simply being a bad decision to make this jump in difficulty so significant, it also gives way to another big issue with Skyblock and its economy, the large culture around carries. Due to the difficulty of Tier 2 Enderman, a majority of players will resort to being carried until they reach Tier 5 of the Enderman Slayer to be able to use the Juju Shortbow. This shows just how big of an issue this part of progression is, as it requires players to altogether attempt to skip over it by having others do their bosses for them. Now, this has a very simple fix. The admins can simply reduce the damage or health of the Enderman Slayer bosses to make them more accessible to mid-game players. Now, stepping away from issues with Skyblock itself, the Skyblock community also has its fair share of issues, with the main ones being toxicity and ratting. While not much can be done about toxicity, something can be done about ratting. A while back, admins added the Hypixel security sloth to Skyblock, which was meant to help more naive players not fall for traps set by ratters. However, realistically, no players bother to check in with the security sloth to ensure they aren't being ratted. While ratting is one of the more complex issues surrounding Skyblock, there's surprisingly something that can be done about it, and the admins have already coded it. However, you probably don't know anything about it because it's only offered to YouTube ranks and other people of interest. Of course, I'm talking about two-factor authentication, a simple fix to a complex problem. Requiring players to enter a code sent to their phone or email every time they attempted to enter Skyblock or just Hypixel in general would significantly reduce the amount of ratting incidents occurring within the Hypixel network. Obviously, this feature would be turned off by default and could be turned on by players as they saw fit, but just having this option would significantly help the player base to fight against the ratting problem that's sweeping Skyblock. Now, with everything I've said in mind, I would just like to say that I enjoy Skyblock regardless of its many flaws and will continue to support the game. However, it's quite disappointing to see such big issues being practically ignored, especially since they have such a big impact on Hypixel's largest and most active game mode. Now, with that out of the way, I would like to say that this is a new sort of series that I'll be doing, the State of the Game series, where every month I will be going through a list of problems surrounding Skyblock, hopefully changing problems each month and not repeatedly talking about the same ones, because trust me, I know that can be quite redundant. And I would just like to say, if you guys have any suggestions or anything that you see wrong with Skyblock, please let me know, and I'll be sure to see how I can include it into the next video. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.